Welcome to another edition of Sunday Market Outlook. It is February 11th, Super Bowl day, and we are ready for a brand new week of trading. Again, I got my man, Mr. Brent Badal, in the building with us here, who I think is going to kick us off, right, for our Sunday Market Outlook. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you do your thing to kick us off, and let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and share my screen really quick. Go through the forecast. Before the forecast, I want to run through something really quick. Reporting, guys. Tap the trade is ready, up and running again, flawlessly working, better than what it was, which is kind of weird to say, but it's actually better than what it was a couple of weeks ago with this update. Everything happens for a reason, guys. For those who know, obviously, medicals, there's a lot of different situations where tap the trade was working, but when we would send it to you guys, nothing was actually reflecting in MetaTrader, right? So it wasn't that a stopped working tap the trade side of things. It was more of just there was nothing for a Cashix and tap the trade to speak to, right? With that, obviously there was updates, amazing tech team that we have here along with Josh doing what they do. So they said, hey, you know what? It's up to me, let it be. I'm just going to create my own. So they did their own stuff in the background and they created to now it's even better. So it's really cool now. You can integrate with MT4, MT5. It's a lot faster when we go ahead and take control. So if we move stop loss, take profit, it actually moves for you guys automatically. And if we close it, it closes for everybody too. So it's really cool now what we have when it comes to tap to trade. The top side, as far as the score, like the update that will be added on during the week, is projected right now. So no worries, even though we already called out, like today I already called out one tap to trade. It already hit take profit. We cleared it. It's not showing. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. They're correcting it. Now, the reason why I want to take this pause really quick is to show you guys. So if your tap to trade is not working, okay, if you're tapping approve and nothing is actually going to your MetaTrader, what you need to do is go onto akashix.com, log in, make sure it's on a computer or web browser, preferably computer, log in, go back to getting started. Even though it says connected, reset your account. Reset your account, copy and paste the account number, copy and paste the trader password, not the investor, but the trader password, confirm it again, copy and paste it. Your broker, for example, if with your Tradex, like the majority of us right now are with Tradex, your broker is Think Markets. Your broker server is Think Markets demo MT5 if you selected 5 by Think Markets, right? If you put Think Markets demo the same way that TradeX is telling you in the email, it's not going to work, guys. That's why it's not working. You need to put Think Markets demo MT5. Unless you have MT4, then that's different. You put MT4 on there, but MT5. Connect it, wait like 5 minutes or so, and it'll connect, and now it's going to work. Okay. 100%, guys, that's how it works. If it's not working for you right away, clear your cookies, clear your cache, use a different browser, whatever you have to do. Literally, I just did it 3 times in a row and then it worked. Nothing different than that. So that's the only reason I would say, as a betting man that I am, I would bet you $1 that that's the reason why it's not working. I've helped, I think, like 20, 30 people over the weekend right now with that. And every single one, it's that. It's like, oh, I didn't put MT5 at the end. I already know why. That's why it's not working. So go ahead and do that. Okay, guys. With that, now we're going to go into what we normally do, right? News. So for the news side of things for this week, it's pretty interesting. So we start off right away tomorrow with two FOMC speakers right away are going about everything, and we have the federal budget balance. This one is very important, guys. Even though it's yellow, this one's very important. 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. We need to pay attention to this for sure. And maybe a little bit of this will actually kind of hint towards what's happening. So we'll see what the 11 Central move makes. What the opening bell, what pretty much from like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, all the way to opening bell, all the way to 11. We'll see what picture is being painted, really to look at that 1 o'clock move for federal budget balance. Really good one that I always like trading. Again, guys, don't fall for the color of the folder. A lot of times we're going to have big news regardless of the color. Tuesday. Tuesday right away, we have CPI, another big one that I always like moving, fast moving, 7:30, which I like the time. I already like how it moves at 7:30, and then we have opening bell an hour later. So early move for CPI. Really excited for that for Tuesday. Of course, if you guys have TradeX, make sure you're reading your rules, knowing what pair you can, what news you can and can't trade, regardless of the pair, right? Make sure that's on there. But CPI, I absolutely love to trade. Wednesday, we go into kind of a chill day. As you can see, there's a ton of news, but nothing really heavy on the US side. I mean, we do have oil, we do have a FOMC speaker, but nothing really that catches our eye. So it's good to have that little break in between. So when Tuesday we got high, then Wednesday we're kind of chill. And then Thursday we go back into that high again, which allows us to kind of grab those highs, grabs those lows. I like when we have those kind of interval of days to where we can have one big movement, correct it, and then big movement again and go back and forth. Hopefully, it even consolidates even better. It moves sideways for us, or it trends cleanly for us. So as we can know, we can sell even against the trend, but as long as it's really clean, hitting those high and lows as we go. Out for Thursday, we run into the core retail, Empire retail. Retail says unemployment, of course, is the main one that I look at. Really for manufacturing, importing. So lots of news, industrial production, capacity utilization, housing market index, business inventories, a ton of news. Another FOMC speaker, business long terms, FOMC speaker again. So again, we have a ton of news all the way from 7:30 in the morning all the way to 6 p.m. A ton of news, but the main one that we're looking at, of course, is unemployment claims for Thursday. And then we close out correction Fridays with PPI. PPI on Friday is always a little bit more dangerous, but as long as we're on the right side of the market, we're not on the retail side, we're on the actual institutional side, and we're seeing the whole correction of the week. Again, you always have to look at things a little bit positive, right? Friday is always a little bit tricky to trade as it is. PMI is one that's going to jump up quick, lots of pips right away at once. So it's a little bit of a dangerous one to begin with. But if we had a whole week, we had 4 days to read the market, play with it, then that last day, a lot of times likes to correct. That's why I call it correction Friday. So it's pretty cool that's falling on Friday for the PPI one. So PPI, consumer sentiment, both important ones that we have. So let's make sure that we are following our trading plans, following our rules if we're on TradeX or any other accounts that might not let you. Because even sometimes brokers don't let you trade on news, which is kind of weird. But just follow the rules that you have either in your broker, on your prop firm. Follow your trading plan. Most importantly, if you're not accustomed to trade news, just don't trade it. Don't get FOMO. Just literally wait. If you don't know how to trade news, and it's something that you don't want to get into, which slippage is one big thing that we look at when it happens to news, then just don't trade at 7:30. Just wait for 30 minutes and then trade a little bit later. That's all it is, guys. Like literally, you're just out of the 23 hours a day that you could trade, you might just not trade, might be able to trade 22 hours instead of 23 that day if it's something that you just don't want to get yourself into. You don't want that adrenaline rush. I absolutely love it. So you will find me there for sure, sending the alerts for the news side of things. But that is it for me. Pass it back to you, Rich, if you want to go ahead and show now your screen, see what we're looking at for gold, for NAS, see what else you have for us cooking.
Awesome, awesome. Well, appreciate you definitely breaking down the fundamentals, guys. As you know, it is very, very important for you to be prepared in your trading week, and a lot of that has to do with knowing when should we really be paying the most attention to the markets. When are we expecting the volume, the volatility? Because really, at the end of the day, that's where the opportunity is. That's where the actual trades really play out. Even if you've been holding swing trades, we all know that we need that fundamental side to kick in. So definitely appreciate you for catching us up on that. You guys know that you can definitely catch Brent on his morning sessions in the AM, usually when news is happening, to be scalping those for quick moves. So definitely cool that we got to see that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, guys, and just pretty much give a little bit of input, mainly for really two pairs. I always go over NAS 100 and gold. I know that Brent pretty much trades the same thing as well. As far as gold, I think Brent, you actually called out some sells today, right? So man, killed it. I mean, I saw Marianne definitely plugging in that trade. Got out with the bag, definitely smashed TPs. So shout out to you for kicking us off on the right foot this trading week. So if you guys already made some money with TTT, if you guys already made some money with Brent's gold trade, let's throw some fire emojis or something in the chat, because I want to make sure the vibes are right. I want to make sure the energy is high and that everybody is ready to have a great week. So I see the fire in the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So as far as gold for me, guys, really what I look for is for us to try to take trades off of a couple of different confirmations, one being key levels, where we see price really visit multiple times, aka support or resistance zones, if you want to call it that. We had one at around 2019. We've seen it react to this level multiple times. The last time really being over here, which was on Monday, February 5th, right? Since then, we basically tapped into this imbalance that you guys have seen marked here. I think we covered this on last market outlook. So we can see how price literally grabs this high right here, taps into this void, and then basically has rejected away, right? So at this point, I'm basically in a sitting on my hands type of phase right now. Basically, I'm being patient, not really looking at anything specifically, just because I usually analyze things on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, and then I execute my entries and refine things a little bit more on the 15 or the 5 minute. But really on the 1 hour and 4 hour, again, until we come down to this level of like 2019, seeing how it reacts around here, I'd be interested in taking some trades around there. If not, again, rating this high over here, would be looking for some type of opportunity there. So right now, I don't really like the areas that we're currently sitting in. So what I would do, I would extend this horizontal line out a little bit, again, because we've seen price react to this price point very aggressively over and over, right? So once we get to this level, really it becomes simple. Seeing how price reacts around this level again, if we get some type of reversal pattern around here, I'd like to go long, and then targeting liquidity, which would be in the form of these highs or even this high over here, and then exiting my positions. If we see that gold basically comes down to that 2019 and maybe gives a small reaction that ends up failing and breaking below this, then I would be interested in basically selling off of that level and tapping into taking out this sell side liquidity and filling in more of the void that we saw basically below 2002 heading into the 1985 zone. So that's really what I'm being patient on, because again, the areas where I can expect volatility or some type of big moves to happen from is going to be from this 2019 area. Everything in between all of this for me is just shaky, unless we see how price kind of forms maybe some other manipulation that stands out to me, and then I can execute off of that. So as of right now, I don't have much information on gold as far as higher time frame analysis. Obviously, if we start to dissect the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 15 minute, we can always find some other things to look for. But for the most part, again, I like to stick to a little bit of a higher time frame to look for good zones to take trades off of. So on NAS, if you guys took my signal, it really activated Thursday and kind of leaked into Friday morning. If you guys recall, the last signal was the buys on NAS at 17,800 with the 50-point stop at around 17,750. My final TP was 18,000 for that nice psychological whole number. We basically almost tapped it to the pip, if you guys recall, at market close, basically. So what does this tell me, right? Right now, NAS has shown us that it is very bullish overall. So obviously these positions should be closed out by now. However, we do see, or I do see, some reentry opportunities to continue that push to the upside. We have nothing really indicating to us that NAS should be going down unless we're going for counter trend trades. That's really where a specialty like Brent's of scalping can come into play for sure. But overall, we've put in this low here. We've made highs, made some retracements, new highs, retracements, and new highs. So overall, very clear bullish structure. So there's no reason to go against that overall trend bias, which means that, again, if we go for sells, it would have to be something short term, really just respecting the higher lows and higher highs that have been forming on NAS. I personally, if you guys know how I trade, I look for areas where we see manipulation or we see some clear, counter direction that ends up leading to a big move. And that's why I love these candles that form these type of wicks right here, right? So for example, we see that this one specific candle on NAS is very interesting because, again, we had been in the longs from 17,800, right? Now notice how during, I believe it was news on Friday, we actually had price during news spike below, right? Leaving this huge wick formation before ending up breaking and closing higher than the previous wick high on the 2-hour time frame. So essentially the open of this 2-hour candle right here, which is this whole wick, is an area where news kicked in, we forced price down on purpose, right? For us to end up pushing things higher. So this is what I would call a mitigation play. We'd basically be tapping back into where news kicked in and basically breaking higher from there, forming a new high, which can lead us into potentially even 18,000, right? So that's really what I'm looking for on NAS, is essentially for us to, um, either wait for some very clear short-term reversal patterns on NAS, maybe on something like the 15-minute, 5-minute, right? We kind of saw at the Sunday open that price continued pushing lower. And as of right now, it kind of has recovered and sat around, right? So right now, this is just like dead price action to me. I'm not really interested in doing anything with that. However, if we are expecting price to eventually visit this area once again, then that means that it has to sell off to get there anyways. So that's where I can see, again, some short-term sell opportunities. If we get maybe something like a liquidity buildup with a fake out to the upside, followed by a break of structure to the downside, in which I would like to sell off of that type of manipulation and tap into here. That would make sense for some type of sell, for example, like this, right? Something with a 2.5 or 3-to-1 risk to reward would be nice. But that's all speculation, guys. That's why at the end of the day, we want to just prepare for scenarios. I'm going to be always open-minded to buy scenarios, but also sell scenarios. So that way I don't get caught with just one directional bias and trying to impose my will into what should happen in the markets. We know that we don't control price. We just simply react to what it's showing us. And as of right now, again, just like gold, I'm personally going to sit on my hands, expecting two things: the sell scenario, or being patient, waiting for us to tap into here with some clear reversal patterns in which we will buy off of that and target new highs. So that's really it for me. As far as what I personally see for both gold and NAS. Let's drop some fire. Let's drop something in the chat for Javier, man. We love having you on these Sunday market outlooks. You've been a huge asset to the AkashiX community, since you got started. You've been really keeping me in the loop heavy with crypto too for a while. I've kind of just been out of the loop with Bitcoin and everything, but you definitely get me right and ready for the week when it comes to that side of things as well. So I'm gonna let you do your thing, man. Appreciate you for tapping
And
with us.
his tap the traders and profits too. His tap the traders and profits. You
Absolutely.
had to mention that part too. So and it's in
Yes.
profits right now.
That EU tap to trade is moving. It's moving great. So let's see how it's going. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. So I just make the review with the team in Spanish. So actually I have something to show you quickly here about for Bitcoin. So let me quickly go over here. So I think that we are just in the right moment. So probably you will hear me say that every single week, but again, it is what it is, man. So we are right there, and I hope that every single one of you that are here take the chances to take the opportunity. So I just, for example, last week I think I just made another a little bit buy on Bitcoin on 43K, and actually right now we are 48. So that is pretty much 5-8% of increment. So that means that my investment last week already paid me 8%. So only the banks pay like 4 or 5% per year, and we are talking here about 1 week with profits or with ROA or return of investment, 8% in only 1 week. So what I have here is a daily chart for Bitcoin. So pretty much I clean it up everything, but I just want to double check this with you. This is probably quickly. So I have here marked in the up yellow level. So this is 49 point here, 49K. It is important because if you are coming a little bit late to the party, let me tell you that this is the highest high that the Bitcoin market made in the same week that we have the EFT approved for Bitcoin. So that is the highest level in that particular time frame, the same day, the day before, etc. So that is the 49K is the magic number so far that we should be reviewing, because we have a pullback in the market from that level down to the 38. So that moment, it was also important because every single of the big corporations, the big money makers, has been buying or selling on this area. And then the market said, no more, no more in the 38, 500, something like that. Now we have the market pushing up. And this is where I want to give you a hint. A lot of people will say, wow, right now is the best time to buy. Right now, Bitcoin will be going to the moon, etc., etc. So I will tell you this. So I will be careful, because you can see how the market always moves in cycles. So when we reach this 49ers, sorry, 49ers, but when we've reached here the 49 again, there is a big possibility that we have another pushback. Why I am saying this? So this is not because I am someone that do not believe in Bitcoin or something like that. It's completely the opposite. But you can see how the 200 moving averages is still below the 35K. So that is a good indication so far that, yes, we are in a bearish market. That is cool. That is true. But remember that we need to understand that nothing goes up forever. So there is something that needs to be resting over here. It could be possible to see it again in the 42, in the 40s, or even below, because the projection of this movement pretty much would tell us something like that. So I don't know today if the rejection will be in the 49 or it will be in the 50s, because there is another key level exactly in between the 50 and the 52. So it could be pushed up to the 50, 52, and then come back. And that is the main reason why I keep telling the team, and I keep telling the people that ask me in the social media and ask me every time that have the opportunity, is you need to know what you're doing. And the only thing, and the only way that you know what you're doing is stay connected. Stay connected with the education, stay connected with our system, stay connected with the knowledge source, because this is something for people that really, really have contact with the good information, not only one XY YouTube channel, XY influencer in Instagram that sometimes just don't know what talking about. I'm not making myself a guru, but there is a lot of information here in Akachix that you can double check, and you see that there is a great group of educators that, for example, validate what each other said, right? So that is something that you should be always keeping in mind. So my recommendation for this week is take a look in the 49 level, in even the 50, 51, because definitely something will happen over there. Even there is also the possibility that we just saw something quickly or a big movement, because Bitcoin also move those kind of things, something like that. But again, I will be careful on this position. So if you want to invest, you can start investing 20%, 25% of your total investment, wait for a pushback, invest another 20, 25%. If start going up again, another 20%. So that will give you a good averages of investment, instead to put all the eggs in one single position and probably have a bad headache if this coming back to the 35, 37. But actually, it is nice. It would be nice if come back a little bit to the 40s in the next weeks, just to buy a little bit more, and now holding for the going up. So I don't know if there is any questions or comments over there. Let me open the chat here, because when we talk about the Bitcoin, if we move immediately to the Ethereum or to the other biggest cryptocurrencies, pretty much all of them will look the same or will look very similar in terms of what the market or what the graphics are doing, okay? So remember to be in tune with this particular call every Sunday. So I have a lot of respect and a lot of grateful to being here as an invite. So because Brent and Rich have made a great community over here. So thank you very much, guys. So I don't know. So I know that it's late, so I won't spend too much time tonight.
Awesome, awesome. Well, appreciate you always for, again, taking your time. Even though you already basically did this in a different language, you're still making the sacrifices to, take your time away from family on a Sunday night to be here with the Akashics gang, really giving us that valuable information. So appreciate you as always, Javier. But guys,
Likewise.
absolutely. Let's go. Let's go. So guys, we are pretty much caught up with the markets, prepared as far as some analysis on different assets, fundamentals, the whole shebang. Thank you, Brent, also for, covering us on tap to trade, really just, making sure everybody is aware of, the progress that we're making, guys. I want you to understand, just to piggyback on that really quickly, we are really talking about technology that, from the outside may seem simple, but this is something that, guys, has not been done in the industry at all at this scale. And so right now you guys need to, you should feel privileged, right? Feel privileged that you guys are, in front of history, really, because even 10, 20 years ago, guys, trading, it was accessible to the public, but not at the scale and how easy it is now for anybody to get started and for anybody to access it. And so for us, again, to be able to create something like Tap to Trade and already be 2-0, right, for the day, almost 3-0, I think, at this point on a Sunday, is just incredible. And you guys will get the hang of it. You guys will continue to get better with, utilizing Tap to Trade, utilizing the trade alerts, and then eventually learning the skill set and feeling confident in yourselves. And that's what we're here to do as far as the education team, to help you guys in all those regards, right? All right. So much love, guys. You have an amazing rest of your Sunday night. I will see you guys on the Telegrams and on our live sessions. So until then, take care. God bless. Let's run it up.